What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, I do have to go ahead and apologize for the Battlefield 2042 gameplay here. It is a tad bit old. I just haven't had any time to go ahead and get footage for these videos recently. I've been extremely busy, so I do apologize for that. But this information that just came out for Battlefield 2042 is absolutely insane, and regardless of how busy I am, you best believe I have to go ahead and get a couple of videos out for this. Now, for today's video, we're going to talk about one thing and one thing only, because I think this topic 110% deserves its own signature video, and that is the specialist changes that are finally being introduced into Battlefield 2042. Yes, you heard that correctly, DICE, after almost a year of us waiting patiently. I suppose not everybody was waiting patiently. I know tons of people completely ditched this game, but after a year of waiting for this game to finally catch up to date, they finally came out and told us about the specialist changes that they're working on behind the scenes. Now, I gotta be honest with you guys, I've been having some mixed emotions about this whole situation here, especially after reading the whole blog and also watching the whole, developer video that they put out on their YouTube channel. I've been having positives and negatives just going through my mind, but I'm going to go ahead and start off with the positives because I got to be honest, they did a pretty decent job when it came to putting these specialists in their own classes. Now, yes, obviously, as we know, specialists are still in the game. They're still going to have their specialist ability. They're still going to be them, We're not going back to the classic Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, even Battlefield 1, whatever, soldiers that you have for assault, support, recon, all of that good stuff. No, we're not going back to that. We're still going to have the specialists. But they're going to be categorized into the classic class system. Your assault, you have your support, your engineers, your recons, and that's how this is going to be formatted. Now, basically, each and every specialist, even though they're now categorized into a class, still have their specialist ability. So, Falk will still have her pistol, Boris will still have his sentry gun, so on and so forth. Everybody will still have their main equipment that will always be standard for each specialists. And also, just very quickly, under the Battlefield 2042 blog, they did put under the support role that the Season 2 specialist is going to be listed under that. So we do know that, whatever Season 2 specialist is coming into the game, it's going to be a support character, something that's going to revolve around medicine, ammunition, something of that sort. So, that's some info, I guess. But pushing that aside, like I said, every specialist has their specialist gadget. Then, on the other side, each class that these specialists are under get a class equipment that is always available. So the assault team always gets a med pen. The support side gets the defibs. Engineers get a repair tool, and the recon side gets an insertion beacon, which, oh man, I love the insertion beacon when it comes to 2042, I use that on all my classes, so now that it's going strictly to the recon side of things, it's going to change up gameplay a bit, but it is what it is. Now, keep in mind, the equipments I just read off are mandatory, so no matter what class you pick, that class will always have that equipment. Then next up comes the class gadgets. You can choose one of the bunch. Assault gets to choose between a smoke grenade launcher, C5 explosives, or an armor plate. The support class gets to choose between an ammo crate, smoke grenade launcher, a med crate, or a claymore. The engineers get the anti-tank mines, the recoillesses, FXM, 33A missiles, FGM, javelins, EOD bot, good stuff like that. And the recon class gets to choose between the UGS, proc sensors, SOFLAM, C5 explosives, and tracer dart gun. Keep in mind that a lot of these gadgets are actually from Portal as well, so they're starting to introduce Portal gadgets into the mix of this overall scene here for you to choose between all of these classes. And then, of course, last but not least, the throwables. You get to choose between a frag grenade, smoke, EMPs, incendiaries, stuff like that. It's not really that much of a difference between classes, but that's the last option you're able to choose. So basically, yeah, they did exactly what they told us they were going to do. They mixed in the specialists with the traditional class systems. They kept all the specialist abilities while still formatting them into classes that give you that traditional feel that we all know and love when you choose between being an assault player, a support player, an engineer, or recon. There's a reason you do so, and that reason lacked a ton in Battlefield 2042, even in Battlefield 5, where the game didn't even feel completely like a traditional good Battlefield experience. It still had a lot more of those vibes than Battlefield 2042 ever was able to capture. And even better, all of the phrases that these specialists used to say at the end of the match screens and stuff like that have been completely removed from the game for the time being. As we know, it's been like that for a while now, but they did say that is going to continue to happen, and they're actually currently in the works of getting new, better voiceovers for these characters to help fit the atmosphere a little bit better. So, yeah, I mean, I gotta say, they are putting in a decent amount of work to try to evolve the specialist system into something better. But like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm still feeling pretty mixed about the overall situation here. Even though I can see the positives that are being presented to us, I still can't get over the fact that it took this long to get us here. The majority of all of these changes have been requested before the game even left beta. This is very simple stuff that we've been complaining about since the very first play session that could have probably been implemented, much sooner if they actually hopped on board and listened to us at the time that they should have. But instead, they ignored us, they pushed it on, and here we are almost a year plus into development, and we're finally getting this update for specialists. I don't know if it's too late for everybody to want to come back and give this a shot now. I don't know if people are willing to go ahead and download this game just for the sake of trying out this hybrid of our traditional class system mixed with the specialist system. And the real problem here is that this is not even being implemented anytime soon. Their expected date for this update to come out for the specialists is Season 3, around Update 3.2. Okay, we aren't even into Season 2 yet. Do you know how long it's going to take to see this implemented? Now, they did go ahead and say that that's just, a loose date. So if things look a little bit better, they can meet their expectations, then they'll push out the update sooner. But with the pacing that they've been going at right now, I do not expect anything of that nature happening. I expect it to be, much later, probably mid to late season of Season 3. And my question is, are people willing to wait that long? I mean, a month or two after the game launched, everybody was already gone in the first place. Almost a year later, people aren't even, thinking of this game anymore. And now they're expecting the community to wait another half a year to come back then. I mean, I can't see a positive outcome for this overall product here. And the cherry on top is that we were left in the dark for this whole time until this very moment when it was finally complete. The whole purpose of this specialist change was to keep the community notified every step of the way. We were supposed to be involved with helping make these changes. Instead, they just put a little side team together to study all of our critique. I have no clue whose critique they were looking at, whether it was through YouTube videos, comment sections, Twitter page, I don't know what's going on, but they put together a group to look through the community to see what we wanted, and then behind the scenes, they put it together. When they told us with their own, if they didn't say this, then it wouldn't be a problem, but when you openly tell your community that we are going to, that they're going to keep us in the loop, and, let us interact with these changes, and then completely ignore every last one of us is just absurd to me. And then they come out all this time later, introducing their changes for the specialist that, had literally zero feedback from the community. Now, I mean, as bad as it sounds, I gotta say, I mean, the update does seem like it's going to push this game in a positive direction. Anybody who's still tagging along with Battlefield 2042, anybody who enjoys this game, this will only make it better for you. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who's out there who might not enjoy the game completely, but, you're just looking for these changes to occur, you still have it installed or something of that sort, then, maybe this update will be for you. Maybe it'll be perfect timing for you to come back, give it a shot and stuff like that. But other than that, I just can't see this being perfect. I want to give it a shot. Trust me, I can't wait to give it a try and see if this new update's going to fix all the problems that we had within the beginning cycle of Battlefield 2042 and the Specialist. I'm really excited to see because I think it's pretty creative, allowing the Specialist to have their own abilities. Then on top of that, everybody gets their own class equipment and then everybody gets to pick one gadget. It does sound like it would feel like a classic traditional class system from Battlefield, just mixed with some Specialist abilities on the side. So I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out, but my problem is that this wasn't made from the ground up. Anytime a development team has to go back and scratch something and completely rework it and remodel it, usually it's chalked from that point on, right? If the game isn't launched in a good shape, then typically it's not going to be resolved. I mean, yeah, bugs and glitches and stuff like that could be fixed if the game launches like that, but something as big as, a feud between the community on classes and specialists, that's not an easy resolution to make. That's something that has to be made from the ground up to work for the overall community. So I think this is just going to be worked as a play test. They're going to test everything out. They're going to see how it works. and then they're going to use this information for the next Battlefield game. That's all I'm really personally focused on. Forget about 2042 at this point. The game is long gone. It's been almost a year now. By the time we get specialist changes, it's going to be a year plus. By the time we get more than 3 maps introduced into the game, it's going to be over a year. That's just absurd in my personal opinion. So I don't really expect too much to come out of this game, but hopefully we can get some positive changes that might dictate how they're going to handle the future of the Battlefield franchise. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. If I hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, if you subscribe, hit that notification button. Also, want to chat with me, this to do so, I have Twitter and Discord, put the link in the down description. And also want to catch me live streams of video games, do over on Twitch. Link that's in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.